All right. Hello. Happy Wednesday. It is week one of our April new coach training and week one of training in a national pandemic, right? Like when we kicked off last month's training, things looked a whole lot different than they do right now. So, first off, thank you for getting on. If you are managing this among maybe, lunch break while you're working your job from home, or you've got kids that you're like, okay, sit and chill and give mommy like an hour of your time and watch a movie. That's what mine are doing. Watch a movie, play a game. Don't try to cook lunch by yourself like happened last week, and just let this happen. It is a wild season for sure, but I think one thing that we can all like realize and come to ground on is that we have an incredible opportunity here. Like, yes, we are. I know personally, I can speak from personal experience. I feel like I'm in a hamster wheel right now. Like, it is a nonstop. There's always something to do. And my husband was home yesterday. He was doing some yard work, and the kids went outside with him. He's still working, which I'm grateful for. But he went outside to do yard work, and he hired the kids, and then he quickly sent them back inside. And the kids said that they got fired. And he came in. I'm like, what do you mean you fired the kids? Like, I was inside by myself getting dinner ready. They were supposed to be outside with him so that I could actually accomplish a thing. And he's like, I couldn't get anything done with them. Do you know what it's like? Try to get yard work done with the two of them. They weren't doing anything that I told them to do. What I told them, like, they were complaining, they were messing around. And I looked at him and I was like, are you serious? Like, are you serious right now in the words that are coming out of your mouth? Because you do realize the last three, I don't even, is this week three? I think this is week four. We're on week four. This is our fourth week. For 4 weeks, that has been my life. For 4 weeks, I am like, I'm going to put you here, and then I'm going to do this, and I'm going to answer this message, and then I'm going to send this email, and then I'm going to do some fractions, then I'm going to practice sight words, and then I'm going to squeeze a workout in. Like, it has been insane. But every time I get overwhelmed, every time I get to that point of like, what is happening? I realize we have the most incredible gift at our fingertips. And I hope you guys are plugging into the National Wake Up Call. Carl he's like taking over those calls every week and just giving these little pieces of wisdom. But I want to say 240,000 was the number he shared on Monday. And if anyone else was on, or if I'm not correct, you can correct me. But I feel like on Monday he said that there were 240,000 BOD subscriptions since March 15th. Like, that is an insane amount of people. And not only are they coming on, but they're actually staying. Like, I think it was like 22% or something stayed. So, okay, this many people took advantage of the free offer, right? Like, if you're not aware, Carl is doing like a 30-day free thing, or you can text him and get this code. He has an ad out on like XM radio. I don't even know where else the ad is, but Carl has an ad out for Beachbody On Demand. But what he's doing with this ad is you get a free Beachbody On Demand membership, and then we as coaches get them as a lead. So if you're hitting Success Club, which I know this is the new coach call, so we'll kind of dive into that a little bit more. But if you're doing, if you're on that last week's new coach kickoff call, we kind of touched on these basics. But if you're hitting Success Club and you're an Emerald coach, which is that first rank advancement, you qualify in the lead program. And that's something I want to make sure we talk about today, because right now, possibly more than ever, this lead program can provide one heck of a source of new clients for you. So of those 240,000 people that signed up for Beachbody On Demand in the last 3 weeks, they've all been assigned out to a coach. But they're only assigned out to coaches who are at least an Emerald rank and who have hit Success Club the month before. So it's wild to me. And I'm finding like the cool thing about, like, for one, emails don't always get open, right? So like, you get a lead, you can send them an email, welcome, hey, I'm your coach. They're not always going to read it. But if they do, you're coming in contact with a person who, without even being prompted, went online and got this membership because they wanted to change. So I do find that, yes, in general, you can't always get a response from people. And I've been actually finding them on Facebook and having better luck with that. But I'm finding when I get them to respond back to me, they want to do this. Like, they went on their own, they got their Beachbody On Demand membership, and they want your help. So they're responding, they're participating, they're joining my boot camps, they're curious about the other products. And this is all a part of being in a time when people are stuck in their homes. So we're all, I shouldn't say stuck, we're safe at home, right? I'm trying to use that with my children. We're not stuck at home. We are safe at home. We are safe at home. But we really are. And we have this opportunity while we are, faced with such a challenge right now, to embrace that, to utilize Zooms that we can see other humans and talk to other humans, and that we can help people not only reach their health and fitness goals, but obviously the business side of that as well. So I think it's really cool if we can switch our mindset and focus on the fact that, yes, it's hard. Life is so much harder right now in general, just the basic everyday things. I feel like I'm back to staying up ridiculously late to get work done, setting a really early alarm, and I'm living off of Energize. Like, that is my current stage of life. Like, we're busy, life is busy, but I can't stop because we have a way to really greatly impact so many other people. So keep that in mind as we're going through things. I hope that I'm curious of people who are on, and who is this like your first month going through coach training? I know I see some familiar faces already on here. 1, 2, 3. So you're just going through. I hope that you had a chance to watch the new coach kickoff call last week, because that goes through like that. That's step 1, right? So we've got that. And then we also had a brand new thing that we integrated last Saturday, which was that mini summit. So you not only have the new coach training or the new coach kickoff call that goes over the basics, you got to hear and see some incredible ways that people are taking what's happening right now and embracing it. And I think if you watch the Dream Team Mini Summit, all of the recordings were broken in like 15-minute increments, which I thought was perfect, because it allows you to either repeat something that you really liked or really want to implement, or, watch them in little segments of time, as we're all wearing so many hats right now. But I think the thing to take away is people are doing things so different. You can watch each of those pieces of how people are building their business night right now, and they're all different, but they're all doing something phenomenal. So make sure, like, I actually even have some of them that I want to go back and listen to, although I was on live and took like pages of notes. There really are incredible resources there for you to take that basics and run with it, because there's no wrong way to do it. Like, you can lean into the free resources. You can lean into the live aspect, utilizing Zoom. There's so many different ways that you can go with this. Yes, the Dream Team Facebook page. I know Melanie uploaded them there, and then I put them into my team page. I will say I haven't looked in the big team page. All of my files in my team page disappeared this morning. So I don't know if it's a Facebook glitch or if it's something with my personal Facebook account, but I have files in my team page that have like every single call recording, and this morning they were gone. So I have my fingers crossed that that's a glitch. I didn't lose all those links. So hopefully if you go into the Dream Team Facebook page, those are still there. I didn't look to see if that was across the board or just in my team page. Oh, there's more people joining. This is so distracting. Sorry.
I'll check the Dream Team page real quick.
Yeah, let me know. I'm curious, because I know Katie Ersta, her and I both lost all our files this morning. So I don't really know what's going on with that. But hopefully they're in the, if they're not, we can pull those back up. I know it was on a YouTube playlist. But yeah, that Dream Team Mini Summit was really cool. So kind of getting to the basics of, okay, it's week 1. It's April. What are we going to do? First and foremost, you guys, when you're starting out, it's your journey. Your journey is going to be the absolute greatest piece of business building tools that you have at your fingertips. And I can tell you, 6 years in, my journey is still the biggest piece I use to build my business. So it's going to be what starts it. It's going to be what keeps it going. And it's going to be what you can lean on at any point in your journey. Just yesterday, for my Transformation Tuesday, I actually shared a little piece of like my very first before picture that I took grudgingly, that I had my husband take of me. And then I shared where I actually got really good results, and then I kind of shared where I am now. And I talked about, weight, and I talked about how here I was, and then I lost some weight. And since that picture, I've actually gained 15 pounds. And I shared how I've evolved through that process. So it doesn't matter where you're at, whether you have just begun and you've lost your first 3 pounds, or maybe you just begun and all that you've noticed and changed is how much more positive you are because you are now working out. Maybe you don't have much physical side by side to show for it, but you can share how you felt. Hands down, without a doubt, you consistently showing and sharing your personal journey is going to be what helps people relate to you. You can find before and after pictures all over the internet. They're everywhere. The difference is your story and the people who know you, because my story is not going to impact your friends. They don't know me. So they could read it and be like, good for her, but it's not going to connect with them the same level that it's going to connect when you share your own journey. So I try to make it a point to share my personal transformation at least every other week. So obviously Transformation Tuesday is an easy way to keep that reminder of, I got to share my journey. I got to share my progress. And even if you don't have a lot of progress, I can tell you now, I got really good bar blend results. And at the end of bar blend, I'll admit I was pretty ripped. And then COVID-19 happened. And I'm not quite where I was at the end of bar blend that I am with 10 rounds. But I'm not going to starve myself for it. I'm going to keep plugging through 10 rounds. And at the end of 10 rounds, I can almost promise you right now, my 10 round results are not going to be as mind blowing as my bar blend results are. And that's okay. I'm going to share them. I'm going to talk about what this 6-week program did for me at this six weeks of my life. So journey and journal as you're going every single step of the way. If you're crushing it, great. If you failed and you've gone backwards, do you know how many people can relate to that? Like, it's one thing to show like killer results, right? You're going to show your results and people are going to be like, oh my gosh, what did you do? I need a piece of that. But when you show it backwards and you're like, I'm going to admit I failed. I ate so many Starburst jelly beans during COVID-19 that I lost all definition that I gained with bar blend, because that's where I'm at right now. I can't stop eating Starburst jelly beans. And here I am. Do you know how many people are going to be like, that I can relate to? Because I see myself when you share how you just dived into the jelly beans or the cookies or the cake pops or whatever it is that you're baking if you've got a daughter like me. So that I already, like, I mean, I'm not trying to like make my results look worse, but I'm not going to I'm not going to stress myself out over getting killer results with every single program, because each program comes at a different point in my life. So the thing I want you guys to take away from that is you need to be documenting and sharing your journey every step of the way. If you're crushing it, good for you. Be proud of that and share that. And if you've had some really crazy life things happen to you and you've gone backwards a little bit, share that. And if you're stuck at this plateau point, share that too, because no matter where you are, consistently showing up over time, it builds trust, it builds credibility, and it shows you're a real person. Because nobody wants to see like this one person plugging along, doing all the things like perfect. They're going to relate to you when you share the good, the bad, and the ugly. And that is something that from the day that I started coaching, I've shared. I've always shared, I share results. I've shared countless transformations where I've gone backwards. And hands down, those are actually the ones that do better. Like when I show results after a vacation, and I'm like, here I was before when I got prepped, and here I am now. Those are the ones that people can really relate to. And they're connecting with you as a person, as a story, because there's coaches everywhere. I mean, heck, there's 20 of you on this call. Any one of you could coach somebody through a program, but it's going to be your story that people connect to, that relate. So no matter where you are, sharing your story. I know Melanie mentioned the business activity tracker. I don't know how many of you guys use the planners. I've got the Rise Up planner and I use the Chic planner for social media. But what I did, and something I recommend you do, is don't just print out one business activity tracker. Print out a whole stack of them and commit to this. Because you're not just tracking this week or next week. Print out 52. Commit to the year. Say for a whole year, I'm going to track every single day. I'm going to do all the things that are listed on here because these are the things that people are telling me to do. And it does not matter if you listen to a national wake up call or a team call that has somebody who's been coaching for a year, 6 months, or 10 years. Every single one of them is going to tell you they track their business. So from the start, or if you're already been doing this and you haven't been tracking, start today, track your business. That is going to be what also allows you to see the results, but it also allows your coach to see. My favorite thing when somebody comes to me and says, but it's not working, you know, I'm going to ask them, let me see your tracker. Because I can't see what you do because I'm not sitting beside you. I don't know who you're talking to. I don't know if you're adding followers. I don't know if you're going through all the basics unless I can see it. So it allows you to be real with yourself. It allows you to take that check at the end of the day to be like, all right, well, I was busy, I was busy, right? But did you actually do the things that matter? Or were you making a really pretty picture? Or did you take 3 hours to draft a post because you couldn't figure out what to say? Or did you scroll forever trying to find some inspiration for a post and then you never actually made one? Like, there's so many things. I've done them all, trust me. But having the tracker allows you to actually be honest with yourself, and it allows your coach to be able to come back and help you and really see, okay, well, what could we do more of? And are you adding 3 people a day? Well, what are your goals? Do we need to add 5? Do we need to add 10? How many are inviting? does that number you're inviting align with your goals? And it really just helps us adjust. So get in the habit now of tracking. You can't exactly go to Staples right now and bind this. That's what I had done. So just print them out, put them in a folder, put them in a book. And I like to keep them because then it allows me to look back on them. And I write little notes and I write people's names down. I kind of use it as scratch paper. So I like to keep them all bound. But whatever you do, don't just print one out, print a bunch of them and commit to tracking your business over time, because it's not going to be this, I'm going to snap my fingers and have this incredible, business at my fingertips. It's going to take time, but if you can track it and use this over time, it is going to make all the difference. And as you're going through, is everyone familiar with the business activity tracker? And shake your head. Yes, yes, yes. Anyone not familiar with the business activity tracker? No? Okay. Well, I'll quickly go through things. You're going to notice at the very top is work out and drink your Shakeology. Why? Because of what I just shared with you. Your personal journey is the greatest thing that you're going to use to build your business. So the first thing that everybody should be doing that shouldn't even be part of like your work hours is going to be that you're working out and you're drinking your shake. I truthfully share my shake on my stories every single day. I don't say, here's my Shakeology, but it's somewhere in my stories every day, whether I blatantly say, like superfood, like I'll say something, like today I did a boomerang as I was sitting up with my kids as we were doing our homeschool time. And I had said, I don't even know, I said something like superfoods and homeschool. So I don't know. I forget what I put up there, but I did like a little boomerang of it. So I didn't necessarily say like, this is Shakeology. But I put it in my stories some way, shape, or form, and people just see it. It's because I want people to know that if they're going to come to me and they're going to ask me what it takes to get in my group, or they're going to ask me what it takes to get results, or they're going to ask me, what's involved with a challenge group, or what are those things you're drinking, they're going to have seen me sharing this every single day. So that's something I always do. I don't put all of these things on my like timeline on Facebook or on my grid on my Instagram, but this stuff that is all within here, and they're the things that I'm sharing in my stories every single day. Sharing your shake is easy because you should be drinking it every day. So that's an easy thing. Snap a picture. If you want to get like prepared in advance, snap 5 pictures of your shake on Monday and use a different picture of that shake the rest of the week. Like it doesn't have to be right now, but figure out how can I make sure that I'm documenting this every single day. And I can tell you, all my stories, you'll see mine every day if you need some ideas. Same with the workout. Now on my personal Facebook, I actually share something post-workout every single day. I don't share it on my Instagram like grid, because I feel like when you would open my Instagram and look like from an aesthetic standpoint, you would just see like workout picture. And I don't want people to look at my Instagram and be like, oh, this chick does his workout. But on Facebook, your presentation's different because you're scrolling down the page. You don't necessarily see everything at once. So the same picture that I might use in my Instagram stories, I do put it on my Facebook page. What I have found for me personally is over the last 6 years, I have put a picture up on my Facebook every day working out. Like maybe in the course of 6 years, you might find like 20 days that I didn't put a picture up. That if it was rest day, I'll talk about the fact that it's rest day and something else that I'm doing. What that has done has built the credibility and trust, because people know I'm not going anywhere. And people who have been following me, maybe they didn't join me in that first year or 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 or 6. But they have seen that I have not stopped. Someone who actually just sent me a message right before this call started, she has been following me. I've been talking to her about Beachbody On Demand literally for 4 years. Like you can scroll in our conversations. I've sent her the link countless times and then she ghosts me and never responds. And today I got it again. I'm seriously ready to do this. Send me the link. I have no idea if she's actually going to do it. But does she know that I'm going to be there to help her? Absolutely, because she knows I've been showing up every single day. So to me, that workout picture, it builds the credibility and trust. The same way on Instagram stories, you see my workout, clips of my videos, doing the couple, 15-second clips of the workout, because it helps people see I am walking the walk and talking the talk. So those things, workout and Shakeology, first 2 things that are on your business activity tracker, I'm sharing those every single day as well. And that to me helps people see that you are what you are talking about. Like I said, it doesn't matter if you've got jaw-dropping results or an incredible transformation. It matters that you are consistently showing up and sharing that. When you move in to the second part of the business activity tracker, this is the connect, invite, and follow up. I'm trying to approve another person. It's not waiting. I don't know why. The connect, invite, and follow up section. Now, this is the bulk part of like the work, right? Like the workout in Shakeology, that's kind of like the easy part. Down at the bottom, we've got personal development. Like that's the, like this is personal development right here. This is business development. You're learning different things. The National Wake Up Call is another great way to get business development in. Listening to podcasts, those things I feel like they're business, but they're also really great for your life as well. The middle part in here, connect, invite, follow up, this is what's going to build your business. So these are the parts that I think when I look at people's business activity trackers, when they say to me, help me, like this isn't working, and I look, they're not doing these things in the middle. And these are the income producing activities. This is what takes you actually getting uncomfortable going out and speaking to other people, inviting them to join you, inviting them to be your friend. I like to say to people, we are, as a coach, we're professional friend makers. Like you have to want to meet other people and connect with other people and talk to other people and find other people who have similar struggles as you, similar strengths as you, similar interests as you. Like that is that middle piece of the tracker here. So the very first thing is initiate connections and add followers. Now, you don't want to just go follow a whole bunch of people, because if they're not your people, then they're probably not going to want to join you anyways. Or if they do join you and they're not your people, you may not actually enjoy working with them. And I feel like that's one of the really great things about what we do is we get to pick who we work with. Like you're in control, you are the CEO, you own your business, you have full control over who you are working with. So when you're initiating connections and adding followers, this can come from a variety of ways. As you're just starting out, obviously you can go to people you already know. You can look at, friends of yours and be like, well, who of, if this is my friend from high school, who are their followers? Because I probably know a lot of those people and I could follow them. Or if you've got a coworker, who are their followers? Maybe I could follow those people because I would probably know them too. Or neighbors or different family members. Like you can look at people who someone you already know, their followers to connect with. You can take this level to people you don't know. There is a website, it's called Saturday Morning Pancakes. It's a t-shirt company and they make, they have like quotes on them, like rap songs. So I love like 90s rap, hip hop music. And they have like little one-liners that are one-lines from songs, but turned into like mom life, or there's like, they even did like quarantine ones. They're funny. Saturday Morning Pancakes is their IG handle. But one thing that I'll do is I'll look who's interacting on their page. Because if somebody's interacting on their page, A, they're active on social. B, they're probably my people because they think that's funny too. And I think it's funny and we can connect on that same thing. So that's another way that I will go for this initiate connections, add followers. I'm going through there. Now to actually make the connection, I sometimes find it's easier to reply to somebody's story on Instagram or story on Facebook versus replying to like just sending them a message because maybe you saw something on their page that they relate to. I try to look for, and I can use the same Saturday Morning Pancakes as an example, the little red circle that indicates somebody's been using their stories. So I'll look through people who are following Saturday Morning Pancakes, and I'll be like, who has a story up? And I'll watch those because people put way more in stories than they post on their page. So this allows me to reply to somebody's story versus just jumping into their inbox without ever talking to them. And it allows me to give something that I can connect with or relate to. Does that make sense? So you're not just sending them the message. You're like, oh my gosh, that's too funny. Or, oh my gosh, my kid does that same thing. Or that looks delicious. Can you share the recipe with me? You can actually engage with them more. And I find I get a better response rate when I'm replying to somebody else's story and creating that initial connection that way versus doing it just by seeing like, oh, she's cute, I should send her a message, maybe she'd be my person. And I'll give an example. I actually did that with, I had a poll up. I don't think it wasn't a Saturday Morning Pancake. It was something where I shared something to my stories, like somebody else's post to my story. And it was like, do you agree? Is this you too? Or something. Like I put the poll up So basically, so that wherever they responded to the poll, it gave me a way to connect with them. And this one girl had responded to it. And I look back at our chat, like we kind of chatted back and forth a little bit, but we connected on something unrelated to Beachbody, fitness, nutrition, like literally just a random thing. And then I had shared a story last night. If you didn't see tonight, we're actually going to do this all month long. Wednesday nights, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We're going to do coach sneak peeks. Different people are leading them. I'm leading the one tonight. Melanie's leading the one next week. And then I think Jess Carey's leading the one after that. Then there's a fourth one scheduled. But the next 4 Wednesdays, we're going to have these 8 p.m. sneak peeks. And she responded to my story, hey, here's my email. Can I get the link for that? And it's just that reminder that people are watching things. They're not always going to respond to your posts. But if you can just connect with them on something random, it allows you to start building that relationship. So I actually find it so much easier to do that on something that has nothing to do with Beachbody or fitness. If you're super into fitness, you can even spin it that way too. Like one day it was leg day. Do you love leg day or hate it? Every person who responds to that poll, you can be like, oh my gosh, I'm a leg day lover too. Did you work out today? And they might say, oh, well, my gym is closed. Or I did a workout from home. Oh, what kind of workout did you do? And you can create that conversation that way. So putting polls up, not necessarily join my team or come join my boot camp, like a poll that allows you to engage, to me is the best way to actually start building those connections and relationships. Does that all make sense? Like the simple way, like don't overthink it. Like I kind of take out like the fact that this is a task on your checklist and you're trying to do it. Like how can you just genuinely create conversations? And obviously, given the time we're in, memes about, what's going on right now or your opinion or, things that make you laugh. I like to laugh. Like I don't do horror movies. I don't do violent movies. I literally just do things that make me laugh or cry happily. So like things that would make me laugh and cry happily, those are the things I'm sharing to my stories. When someone engages with that, I'm like, that's my person. Now I can build my relationship with them. The next one, I feel like this is kind of a given. Do a social media post that showcases the benefits of your healthy lifestyle. Now, again, I've shared earlier that I post my workout every single day. Rest assured, I do not say, I did my workout and leave it at that. It can be a variety of things. Yesterday's workout picture I used in my Transformation Tuesday post. Today's workout picture, it was just my tank top said, I need vitamin C with an ocean. Get it? Haha, like I need to go somewhere. So today's was just about my tank top. So yesterday and today, I didn't say anything about actually working out. The day before, it was a picture of me with my kids in the background who, think 6 a.m. is cool to wake up on a Monday morning. So they were in the background of it with me. So I use it different ways, but I show that I am working out in some way every single day. So when it says do a social media post that showcases the benefits of your healthy lifestyle, get creative with this. You don't want it to be the exact same angle of a selfie. Use your self timer. Get in front of a window and get bright light on your face. Even if you work out in a dark basement, take your picture upstairs by a window because it's going to be clearer. Showcasing, your recipes. I share my shake every day. These are all things that allow me to showcase my healthy lifestyle in some way, shape, or form on my social media. Updating Facebook stories, you can do so many different things. When I think about like at the end of the day, my Instagram stories, I want them to do a couple things. I was actually talking to my husband about this last night. When you look at my stories in any given day, you should see that I have a business, that I work out, that I eat clean, that I love sweets, and then I've got kids and hopefully a husband that I love. He's not always in my stories because he's working all the time. But when he's home, he's in there in some way. But I want you to see that in my stories, and I want you to see that on my grid. Like if you look at my grid, you should see those things about me. You may not know exactly what I do, but you're going to see that I like fitness. You're going to see 2 little kids that are always right here. You're going to see all these things about me, and I want people to see all of that, not just fitness, not just that I'm a mom, not just me, because there's more to it than just me. Like I'd like to visually look and make sure I'm sharing a variety of things. So in my stories, it's the same deal. Am I sharing my morning routine? I do a meditation app every single morning. That is something I share, has a little quote at the end of it. I share that every day. So people know I meditate every single day. They know I work out. They know I drink this shake. At this point, I'm homeschooling kids like half of America. So at some point, I'm going to share some piece of what our homeschooling looks like. That's something that I find a lot of people engage back with, like your thoughts and feelings as you're homeschooling your children right now. So I'm showcasing those different things. Now the rest of the day, like I don't do a whole lot in the middle of the day, but I do try to spread out my stories. Now, one thing that I encourage you to do, and I think Kelsey Hill said this when she spoke on our team call, I think it was Kelsey Hill, is she said that she likes to post, like she doesn't necessarily post her stories real time because she wants to always be that circle popping up at the top of the page. So if you if you open your Instagram right now, you might watch, well, hopefully right now, not right now, but when the call's over, you're going to open your Instagram. You might watch like the first 3 or 4 stories before you get sidetracked and go do something else. She's like, I always want to be one of those first couple stories. And the way that you can be one of the first stories is that you're constantly posting, but you don't want to post 10 stories right now. So it's like, I do that myself. Like I post that meditation one, but I won't post anything about my workout for at least an hour. And then like I'll post, like we do these like energized dance parties in the morning. There's a group of us that do them, and we all tag each other. Super fun thing to do, because energize is life. And we share them, and then like I'll share some of the people that tag me, and I share mine, and then I wait. And even though I then go do my workout, I don't share that right away, and I'll wait an hour, and then I'll post my workout, and then I'll wait an hour. Can you schedule posts, your stories to pop up? I don't know. I've never scheduled my stories. I don't know. I don't know if you can. You think you can?
Does that make sense? You know how I've heard that you can schedule, maybe I'm completely misunderstanding, but I've heard that you can schedule your posts so they automatically post at like a certain time of day for you.
Yeah.
So I was wondering if like you can pre-do your stories and they automatically just post for you too.
I've never done it. I use the Plan app, and I actually think, Steph, you use the Plan app. Steph Miller, don't you use that too? I feel like they have a thing on there that says about scheduling stories. I've never done it. I don't even schedule my posts. Like, I schedule my group posts, like any post within like a Facebook group, like that's never me posting at 5 a.m. Like I'm not doing that at 5 a.m. I'm doing myself. So I schedule all that kind of stuff. I don't know. It's a good question, but I haven't done it. That would be something. So I'm sure there is a way. I would bet that there's a way that you could probably do it. But a Planoly app, Tailwind. So there's some people. I didn't even see those. There's some people saying that you can schedule them. Okay. I just usually kind of make my own mental note to do them later. And it's by no means is it like every hour on the hour. I just don't want to throw up too much at once because I want to spread them out throughout the day. And I take a lot of pictures of my meals, but I'll be honest, you don't always see them in my stories because I usually forget. Because when I actually make my meal, I want to eat it. I don't want to like make it look pretty and go put it on my stories. So I have way more pictures of meals taken than I've actually shared. But a lot of times what I do with my meals is I'll save that for another day. Like I actually made like a chicken parm over zoodles. Such a pretty picture. And it's been in my phone for like 3 weeks. And I'm like waiting for the day that I actually remember it to share it onto my stories. I just favorite things. So something I do, like if maybe it's like a lazy day and you're not really doing anything and you feel like you don't really have something to share, go back and use something older. It doesn't have to be like right now. You can always use something later. It can be, oh my gosh, people always ask me about these shoes. They're on, like, I have these Steve Madden tennis shoes, these wedge tennis shoes that are amazing right now. Steve Madden's off. Yes, go ahead. You didn't need to whisper that. Go ahead. That people always ask me about, and they're 40% off right now. So like if you like Steve Madden wedge tennis shoes, go to their website. They're 40% off their door. I don't care. Okay. They get 30 minutes of iPad time, and she's in here to tell me that her brother's had it for 30 minutes. Anyways, something we're working on for her not to worry about herself or worry about her brother and worry about more herself. That's a sidebar of my life right now. But anyways, I got off on the tangent, but Steve Madden. So like you could have something that maybe it's an older picture and you're like, I feel like I've got like nothing of value to add right now. I have like 3,000 pictures favorited on my phone that if I like felt like my stories were blah or I hadn't done anything on my stories, I could pull something up, whether it's a recipe, like, like giving things, like try to like think, what are people going to like come back to my stories? A recipe that it says like, not only here's my recipe, but I made this, tap to the next screen and screenshot my recipe. Like putting those things out there that maybe you're like, You're not going to cook your meal, plate it real pretty, and then take the time to type up the recipe on Instagram stories before you sit down and eat. But if you take the picture before you go to bed that night, you could make it all pretty. And then the next day you could post that for lunch or post that for dinner. And maybe that's getting a little bit more into details and nitty gritty stuff. But the point is to keep sharing things on your story throughout your day that aren't screaming, hey, I'm a Beachbody coach, that are saying, I care about what I eat. I exercise. I've got this community. Like, think of the things that you can share. Obviously, and something else on here, and this is something Janelle Tubbs shared on the call on Saturday, was how she recognizes people in her stories. And this is something from her I've been trying to do a lot more of, and it's shouting people out, whether it's their wins, whether it's a message I get from somebody. Like I've used messages, like maybe it's not even somebody who, I got a girl the other day that messaged me and she was like, thank you so much. Your post this morning inspired me to do my workout. She doesn't do Beachbody. I've never talked to this girl before. She did push-ups and sit-ups, is what she did. Like I talked to her, but that part that she said, thank you for sharing your workout. You inspired me to work out today. Those are things I would screenshot and be like, I love knowing that I have the ability to make an impact, and just leave it at that. Maybe you're brand new and you're like, well, I've lost, a half a pound and I've got no clients yet. So what am I supposed to shout out on my page? Go to the people who are in the boot camp with you. Like, you are here because you signed up as a coach, under a coach. Look at the things that are in your boot camp. Who can you recognize? I constantly pull things, and I won't, like, there's some people I know are fine if I share their stuff. This one chick, Stacy, she's this mom of two. She's like, I'm coming out of this quarantine with abs. And I'll be damned, that girl has some killer abs. And I know she's comfortable with me sharing, so I'll share hers directly to my stories. Somebody else who maybe isn't as comfortable, or maybe they're brand new and they're not even on Instagram, I'll share what they say and like wipe out their name or wipe out their picture. But it shows other people that she's doing this, right? Like, it's not just a good for you, it's, oh, she's doing this and she's helping other people do it too. There's people reaching out to her. There's people telling her, thank you, I could be like that person. So it's creating that, like, let's say FOMO, that environment that people realize that you're not just doing this just to do it, just for fun, just for yourself. That when you say you're inviting to a boot camp, people are joining you. And I know in the beginning, people aren't knocking down your doors to be a part of your boot camp, but that's okay. Showcase the other people that you're doing it with. Showcase other people who are, in group chats with you. Maybe you're in a new coach training chat with your coach, or maybe you have something that somebody else has shared. Use that, like Zoom calls. Like, I take a picture of every Zoom call I'm on. I mean, I did one this morning and it was on my phone. So it was literally like I was a profile picture in the square and it was just Melanie's face, but I still screenshotted it and I shared it to my stories that we were having our leadership call, because those are the things that help people understand that we're not just doing this, like talking about it, that we're actually taking action. And then kind of moving on beyond the stories here, responding to likes and comments. Your whole point of using social media to grow your business is to then be social on social media. So posting is great, but posting is not your invite. You cannot post and be like, I invited today, because you actually have to talk to those people. So when you post and somebody likes it, you need to go tell them thank you, because you want them to know that you appreciate them interacting on your page. Now, sometimes it might just be like your mom or your sister or your cousin, and maybe there's not a ton of other people. I did a post last night, and it was a picture of me and my kids, and I spiraled it into a coaching invite for that webinar we're hosting tonight. So anyone who liked that post, who wasn't already a coach, or, that I knew wasn't a coach, I invited them. And I said, hey, thanks so much for loving my post. We're hosting this webinar tonight. I would love for you to join me. Here's the link to register. I didn't even give them an option to say they're not interested. They interacted on the post. So I took it as, you showed me love. I appreciate you. So thank you for the love on my post. Super excited for tonight's webinar. Can't wait to share more about coaching. Here's the link to come join us. So I don't always do it that way. Sometimes if it's not a direct call to action post, it might have been, thank you so much for the love on my post. Having so much fun in this new boot camp with this boxing program. How are you doing with the quarantine? How are you doing staying home? Are you staying active? And if you know the people, maybe they went to a gym. Is your gym hosting online classes? I found out my sister was doing a yoga class. She pays $10 to do one yoga class. She loves it. More power to you, sis. But I was like, you pay $10 for yoga. I pay $100 for the year for everything. Like, and people are different. She wants that yoga class with that particular trainer, and she does it live. Good for her. That's not me. So try to find things that you can connect with and realize we've got a heck of a bundle of offers for people. But you've got to engage back with people. If they're commenting, comment back. Even if they just drop you an emoji, drop them a gift back. Drop them an emoji back. Just do something to respond back to them and interact and be social. Social media likes it when there's interaction on your post. Likes are cool, but they're not everything. The more people click on it, the more time people actually take the time to read your content. Facebook and Instagram take note of that, and then they take your stuff and they put it in front of more people. So you want to create those things, even if it has nothing to do with Beachbody or nothing to do with, coaching or a challenge group. When someone interacts on your post, still interact back. When someone loves on your post, give them some love back and let them know you see them and you appreciate them. And even if they're like, not all of those turn into invites by any means, but I still connect back with those people and let them know, like, I appreciate you taking the time to do that. And then the part that I think most people get hung up on, and it's the actual invite. So the next thing on our tracker is inviting people to join you. Again, your post on social media is not an invite to join your challenge group. You can post an invite to join your challenge group and then go engage with the people who are engaging on your post and invite them, but you have to actually invite. Now, I find the easiest way is through my stories. Again, people will watch more stories than actually engage with on a Facebook post. So what I like to do is I like to put up something that talks about my my boot camp, whether it's like, I'll talk about my boot camp when I'm sharing my little snippets of my workouts in the morning. Like I said, I shout out people who join me, like this person joined me, super yay. I do all those things. But then what I find the easiest way to invite is who's watching my stories. Because I was a person who silently watched. Like if my coach could have seen me watching her social media, she would have seen me watch for a year and never say a word. Because that's how I was. So I know that a lot of people are watching and they're not saying a word. So I like to go to Instagram stories because now you can see who's watching your stuff. You can see who watches, like if you've got 10 stories up there, not necessarily who watches the first, that's going to have the most views, but who watches them all the way to the end. Because those people are actually staying on your stuff. They have a little bit more interest. And those are the people that I go to first. And you can take it from, if I have a direct call to action, and, especially with 10 rounds, like not only is it, we have this opportunity with everyone being home and home fitness being like a total buzz right now, but we also have a new program. Now people can be the first to do this new program with you. Like there's like opportunity everywhere. So maybe you're doing 10 rounds and you do a story about 10 rounds and you have a call to action in your stories, but nobody responds to it, but you've got 10 people who are watching it. Go to those 10 people, like, thanks for checking out my stories, having so much fun with this new home boxing program. Would you like to try out the sample workout? Or did you see I started a test group for it? Would you like information on the test group? Like you can use that as like, thanks for watching my stories, or saw you watching my stories. And you can add in like, how are you hanging in there with the quarantine? Are you homeschooling your kids? Like you can add in wherever you are in your life, a way to connect with those people. But if you're sharing about 10 rounds, you can mention that we've got this test group starting, or I'm starting my very first ever boot camp with this new program. We're going to box all the stress and anxiety out of our lives. We're starting on Monday. Would you like more information about it? Like lean into the pieces, like the unique pieces of what's going on right now to be able to create that invite. Your post is not an invite. Can you tell we've run into that a few times? I find that is the biggest thing that holds people up. They're not having conversations. People need to know that you care. That you're not just throwing stuff out there on social media, but that you are a person and you care about those people. The last thing I want is somebody to buy a challenge pack from me to never hear from them again. I hate that. I hate when someone buys something and does nothing with it. It like makes me angry because that's not the point. The point isn't for you to buy a challenge pack and then it sits on, a bag of Shakeology sits in your pantry till it expires. The point is that you buy it, you come in, you do the fitness, you do the nutrition, you get the support, and you fall in love with it the same way I did. So I let people know that that is my goal. My goal is not to sell you a thing. My goal is to help you fall in love with the process of fitness, of nutrition, and of community. And this is what I want to help you do. Talk about whatever it is your goal is, whatever it is your mission is, and talk about it all the time, because they're going to see it. People still come to me who I've known all of my life. A girl actually, bless her heart, she joined the free group. We did that free 2-week group. And she actually messaged me. She's like, my mom actually gave me some Shakeology. I gave her mom those packets of Shakeology when I started coaching 6 years ago. She loved them. She said they were delicious. She's going to sign up, she says. But I was like, I gave your mom that Shakeology like way long ago. That's food and so far expired. But that was 6 years ago. She never drank them, so don't give anything away for free, because nobody really values anything you give away for free. But it took her 6 years to actually commit, and she did the free group. She loved the free group, and she wants to continue. You never know when someone's going to hit that point. Right now, being stuck at home, safe at home, without being able to get out, without being able to be around people, without being able to exercise, and so much uncertainty, this gives people something certain, something to look forward to, something that gives, like, naturally will give them positive, healthy endorphins. Like, we have all that. So you can't get frustrated if you're posting and nobody's interacting. And if you've invited the same 10 people who watch your stories every single day, well, then go back to step 1, which was initiate connections and add new people. Like, it is an ongoing circle, but I can promise you, if you keep going through all of these steps every single day, that it will compound. And if you haven't read The Compound Effect yet, there's your cue to read that book. That was the first book I read. I actually am not a reader. I hate to read. I still hate to read. I do everything on Audible. But my coach kept talking about The Compound Effect, and it wasn't available. I don't know, is it on Audible now? Because it wasn't on Audible way back in my heyday. And I remember I bought the book. Actually, no, I bought Kindle. I did it on like the Kindle thing, like read it on my phone. And I would stay up and I would highlight with the little highlighter in the app, and I would highlight these things, but it clicked for me. I was like, this is what she's talking about. Like, and it's obviously, it applies to the business, but it applies to life. Something you can teach your children. Like, there's so many different key aspects of it, but it truly is how this business works and how life works. Like, you will not see any direct effort of what you do today tomorrow. And I'm going to use one more example that I want to share with you. She's going to be speaking on our team call soon, but Janelle Tubbs, I don't know if you recognize the name, Janelle Sheasley on the board. She's been crushing it. She's in my downline. She recently went from a 1-star at the beginning of February, and tomorrow she's going to be a 6-star diamond coach. Someone said to me the other day, she's like, she came out of nowhere. She's on fire. And I said, she didn't come out of nowhere. I've watched her hustle. She's been a coach for 3 years. She went to Summit last year with a crew of 12 amazing women. I love them all. They were all Emerald coaches. And from last year at Summit, even through the beginning of this year, they were all still Emerald coaches. And then they started going one by one, they started growing. And together, they were like, we're going to do this, push out all the excuses, we're going to make it happen. And she went from a 1-star to a 3-star qual to a 4-star qual to a 6-star qual in consecutive weeks. It was the coolest thing to watch unfold. But more so, I like it when someone says to me, oh my gosh, she popped out of nowhere. No, she didn't. That is the direct effort of compound effect. You didn't see anything happening. For months and months and months, you saw nothing happening from her. She had Success Club points. She hit Success Club, but that was it. Nothing crazy. And then boom, it happened. But that's because the compound effect all caught up to her at once. So don't look at somebody else and be like, well, she can do it, good for her. You have no idea what they're doing behind the scenes. You have no idea how much work they're putting in to get to where they want to go. But the secrets to this business lie in your business activity tracker. There's nothing else. I don't do anything else beyond these things. It is a constant connection, talking, having conversations, just being a person. Most people that I enroll with me do not come from a call to action post. They come from a conversation that we had that somehow gets to a point that says, okay, I'm ready. I'm done waiting, done with the excuses. Tell me what I need to do to get started. That is what I have for you guys today. Compound Effect is on Audible. That is phenomenal. If you have not read it yet, please do so. Does anyone have any other questions? Let's see if there's anything else in here. Yes, I save everything as my favorites. Like my phone is a mess. My phone, I have over 30,000 pictures on my phone, and I delete. Like I constantly delete. But I won't, like there's things that I'm like I can use that again. Like that's good stuff. Like I could totally reuse that. And a random story, I donated my hair last January at the request of my daughter, who was like, "Will you donate your hair for me?" And like you can't actually say no to that when your daughter says, "I want to donate my hair." And the first thought was, shoot, I can't reuse old pictures. That was literally the first thing I thought of, because since I've been coaching, I'm like relatively the same size and my hair was long. And whether it was in a ponytail, I'm like, I feel like I look the same over those 6 years. I could use it. Other than that, I wasn't very good at editing them, and I made some really ugly photo collages when I first started. I like at any given point, you could look at like my timeline and you wouldn't know if that picture was like from 2015, 2019. Like you don't know. Cause I would just keep using old pictures, and I was like, oh my gosh, if I cut my hair, like I'll have to make all new content now. That was like literally a thing I thought of. Struggling with hashtags. There is, and it's on, and I just saw it yesterday because I just watched it on Melanie and Katie's Chic influencer page. Their assistant did an IGTV live or IGTV yesterday all about hashtags. So I'm going to default to that. And if you're struggling with hashtags, go watch it. It's not even super long. I want to say it's like 12 minutes, but it's a really great video on hashtags. Hashtags are not my expertise. I'll be honest, I forget to add them more times than not, and that's on me. So I don't want to give my tips on that, but go watch that video. It's a really good one. Any other questions?
If you redo the program that you did when you cut your hair, you can compare your results from then to now, and then you can reuse those pictures.
Transform 20, and I got really great results with Transform 20, and I sometimes will pull up those pictures.
Well, you can do it now, and since you're in quarantine, you can do Transform 20 again and hone in on your nutrition and see if you can re-get the results.
I'd have to really
best on
nutrition. That'd be a really good transformation opportunity. And I actually think of that. Like at this point, and I've seen those things where it's like right now, and like obviously everyone has different goals, right? Like there are times in my life where I am super strict. Like when I was doing Bar Blend, I didn't do anything wild, but I ate according to my meal plan. Like I ate the proper portions every single day. I slept. And I said that to my husband. I said, you know what I think the biggest difference from Bar Blend to now is? When I did Bar Blend, I was making myself sleep at least 7 hours a night. Like it was a non-negotiable. And if I went to bed later, I set my alarm later. Like I guaranteed myself 7 hours. And right now, life is not at a stage to guarantee sleep because I'm a teacher now. And if you're a true teacher, God bless you. I'm not that by nature, and it is not something that comes easy to me. And it's been hard to teach my children here. So I have been working my business really early and working my business super late. So I know that sleep really is it's making a difference. And stress, like I don't know if you guys have seen that, but it's like clinically proven that stress will make you hoard belly fat. And like I feel like that's what's happening. And you know, there's stress in this life right now, you can't get rid of it. Like, I mean, you can manage it, you can do things that help it, but I'm like, this is just a stressful time. On Monday, I was a stressful mess because I had a ton of people interested in 10 rounds. Good stress, right? Like all these people, they want to do it. Good, great stress, but I'm stressed. So I think of all those things, like this season of my life, although Bar Blend wasn't long ago, when I started this beginning of the year, I was like, sleep is a priority. I'm going to rock my nutrition. And right now I'm like, darn it, I'm going to eat jelly beans. I'm going to eat them. I'm going to enjoy them. I'm not going to apologize for them. And then tomorrow I'm going to eat more jelly beans, and I'm not going to apologize for them then either. And I'm not going to get phenomenal results, but I'll own it and I know why. But when I do want results, I also know what I need to do to get there. And I think that there's someone right now who's like, that's like Stacy right now in my boot camp. She's like, I will rock quarantine and come out of here with abs. And I'm like, you do that. And I'll share your results of how to get abs in quarantine. You follow Stacy. If you want to know how to have belly fat, it's be really stressed and eat jelly beans. And either one's fine, depending on what your goals are right now. And somebody will relate to one of those stories, but if they like one of them, maybe they'll come to me for help. Like, I think like sharing all the different options and ways is what helps you relate to more people who are following you on social. What was that video to watch? It's Chic Influencer. It's Melanie and Katie's business. Oh, it spaced it, but I think their Instagram, I think, is just Chic Influencer. Go on their IGTV, and it was yesterday that they did, their assistant did a video all about hashtags. So it was just really good. All right, well, thank you for hanging out with me today. We're gonna take a quick pick because I remembered. Say quarantine. All right, cool. Well, thank you girls for hanging out with me. Talk to you later. Bye.